What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest gaming podcast on the internet, the One Up Gamescast. I'm one of your hosts, Carl Sinclair, joined as always by my brother from another mother, the man with the plan, Master Chief in the streets, Master Cheeks in the sheets, Jack Gibb. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, mate. Sunday night again. We're doing the podcast.
We
Feels
are.
like we've survived another week. All to do it all again in, I don't know, 9 hours or so, give or take.
Weekends aren't long enough. They're just not long enough, are they?
Nah, they're really not. They're really not. But that's all right. The show must go on, mate. And we delayed the podcast this week, not because of anything we were or weren't doing. It was more about Call of Duty releasing mere hours before the show. So
Yeah, true.
we thought give it a good old delay.
Actually,
And then
talk
we're
about it.
we're good to go. Yeah. So, but then Valve come out with some announcements, so I feel like we should start there, right?
Yeah. Valve announced, for those of you who don't know, and those of you who do know but can't count, are 3 new pieces of hardware. A new controller, something called the Frame, and the machine, the Steam machine. So basically, crazy times. Because that kind of like, there was like rumors that they were going to make an announcement this week, but people were under the impression that they were about to announce a new game, and the fact that hardware came out of nowhere is crazy. Now, I do believe like it leaked like a couple of hours before, but I feel like in this day and age, that shit is just like, it just happens. I wouldn't say it leaked. I'd say they let people know who needed to know, and they couldn't keep their mouths shut.
There's definitely rumors and stuff out and about, but not necessarily leaks. It's none of it's really surprising. It's more just surprising that they're doing it. I feel like everyone knows that Valve should make Half-Life 3, but it'll still be a shock when it's announced.
Yeah.
It's been a long wait. It will still be jaw on the floor. But no, 3 bits of hardware. Bit unique in the design, but they're creating an ecosystem. I think that's the thing that people are not maybe using those words, but I think that's what people are like getting a bit interested in. Like the Steam Deck on its own is a great bit of hardware, a fantastic bit of hardware, but it's just a handheld. Like as in, you either want one or you don't. You know what I mean? And the VR headset, I would say, is quite similar. You either want one or you don't. But the Steam machine that's a PC, I mean, that could have quite a wide audience. And there's things about them that work quite well together. So, we'll dive into it a bit more. But for example, the controller can work like Bluetooth, like a PlayStation controller, or it has its own proprietary wireless, like an Xbox controller. However, it comes with a dongle so you can plug it into whatever you need to plug it into. But the Steam machine has that frequency built into an antenna. So, like the controller works natively with the machine. So it's just little things like that that are starting to create this bit of an ecosystem.
Should I break down the 3 items? Then we can talk about them.
I think so. Yeah.
Cool. So, we'll start with the controller. It's crazy. It's been 10 years since the original Steam controller. Like, that's actually mental. Absolutely mental. So this is a complete rethink of the 2015 original. Valve says that it's rebuilt it with modern ergonomics and lessons learned from the deck. It features dual thumbsticks, adaptive triggers, touch-sensitive trackpads with haptic feedback that feels more precise. The controller will work wirelessly through a dedicated dongle or over Bluetooth. You can pair with PCs, Steam Deck, or the new hardware launching next year. So that's really cool that they've bring the controller back. Because I still have my Steam controller, and I used it a lot when it first dropped, but it's just sort of like haven't had a reason to use it since. Maybe I should pull it out and see how it feels, and then that way I'm able to compare to a new one if I ever get my hands on it. Then we also have the Steam machine. For some reason I called it the comeback box. The Steam machine runs Steam OS 3, the same Linux-based operating system that powers the Steam Deck. It's a small box-shaped console, AMD Zen 4 processor, RDNA 3 graphics, and up to 2 terabytes of SSD storage, and they're touting that it is 6 times stronger than a Steam Deck. Was it 6?
Yeah, but it also consumes 6 times the power, so it's a very interesting way of looking at it. But definitely more powerful.
The early photos show a clean minimalist design with vents similar to the decks. It has HDMI ports, display ports, USB-C. It's very much an enthusiast type machine, I think is the safe way to say it. And then we have the Steam Frame. It's a hybrid headset that blurs the line between VR and portable PC gaming. It can run games locally using a built-in processor or connect wirelessly to a PC to stream high-end titles. Yeah, I'm not a VR guy, but I will say the frame looks pretty clean. It looks pretty clean. I say I'm not a VR guy. VR is not something I do on the regular. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hate VR, but it's not something that, like, I do, like, on a weekly basis. You know, I'm not playing Beat Saber weekly or jumping into Half-Life Alyx every other week. There are some VR games that I want to try, like that Batman one that's apparently amazing. But, yeah, I think these look really clean. I like them, like, quite a bit. Like, a whole lot more than I thought I was going to. But, yeah, there's also a couple of controllers that, you know, come along with it. And yeah, they look very much like a VR controllers would. But yeah, I don't know. Very cool. Very cool. I don't know, but this controller's interesting design, isn't it? I think it's very, like, the touchpads and everything, it's all very interestingly placed, but I look at it and I don't think it's going to feel weird or uncomfortable.
I trust, based on how absolutely terrible it looks, that it probably feels amazing. You know what I mean? Like, it's refined for feel and function and nothing else, because it looks like shit. Like, you look at it and it's like, what the fuck have they done to my boy?
It looks like a third-party controller from the PS2 era with big turbo buttons.
Yeah, big turbo button in the middle.
Yeah.
Something you'd get at the post office or something. Like, it's just something
something like your nan got you because she knows you like video games.
Yeah, no, it looks like absolute ass, but it's got everything you need in a controller and then some. So I don't think it's going to be a bad controller. I think the thing is, it's always hard to justify buying some of this gear, because as someone who's privileged enough to have an Xbox on the shelf, if I want to use a controller of my PC, I'll go get my Xbox controller.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to fuck around with like a PC specific controller.
Yep.
But I look at this and I'm like, is there things this controller is going to give me that the Xbox controller won't? And the answer is, yeah, the ability to, like, not have to have a keyboard. You know?
Yeah, true.
Like, there's things here that would be quite nice. I don't know. The hardware offering's quite a statement. You know, I think, like, it's interesting you say about, like, the enthusiast level device of the PC. I don't think it's an enthusiast level in terms of specs and price. It is in terms of function. Like, I think they're going for this, like, real interesting middle ground of, like, you know, console like experience but PC level compatibility.
Yep.
And it's spec'd. Apparently, it will be in the top, like, 30% of Steam hardware out there. So it's they do the Steam survey to learn what hardware everyone has on the market, and it'll be in the top, like, 30%. Like, it's, you know, there's a lot of people out there saying, like, the specs aren't good enough, but for most countries it absolutely is.
Yeah, it'll get the job done.
It absolutely is. For a teenager with a part-time job, you know, it's probably going to be like half the price compared to building your own.
If you've got a PC, this isn't for you. Like that's the thing. I think people aren't sort of like.
I think people have missed that. And I said to you on fucking night one when this was announced, I was like, "That looks fucking sick. Ain't for me." Like, I'm privileged enough to have I've been PC gaming a long time. I live and breathe this shit. Like, my PC from a couple of years ago will still hold up fine, you know. But if you're thinking about getting into PC gaming, this is a fucking option and a half. You know what I mean? Like, this must be considered.
This feels like entry level.
Like, yeah, back when I got into PC gaming, like 14 years ago, if this was an option, like, it would have been considered. It would have been on the pros and cons list. You know what I mean? It would have been in the study, if you will. And I think this is a great piece of hardware. Like, I think it looking good on the desk matters more than ever as well. Like, they've ticked that box. They've got some customizable plates that you can put on it. They got an RGB light in the front that you can get to do random shit. I think they've nailed what you need to be in 2025 to be Like, what am I trying to say? Like, there's plenty of pre-built PCs out there. There's plenty of small ITX PC builds. You can go to JB Hi-Fi. It's probably like some awesome PCs on the shelf. You know what I mean? But to have a mainstream place on the desk, I think takes a bit of a statement these days.
Yeah.
And I look at that, like what Valve's announced, and I'm like, this is a mainstream offering. Like, I feel like the Steam Deck, when it was announced, was not. I feel like the Steam Deck 2 will be, purely because the market's caught up.
Yeah.
Like, Valve was just a bit early, if anything. Or they pioneered it, maybe. This is a mainstream collection of hardware. And the thing that excites me most about it is if that box is only like the specs like of that device are a little bit on the mid side. It's in like there's games already coming out today that would consume every megabyte of VRAM that thing has, right? By Valve coming out with this device and spec the way it is, it'll mean that games will start getting optimized for it. Like, as in, when you make a PC game and you're optimizing for the millions of configurations that people can have, and you've sort of got to hit a couple of random specs almost, this will be on the list. And that means when you're building a PC, you can build, like, you just need these specs, and you can be sure that anything on Steam will run.
Yeah.
Now, whether you're running Windows or Steam OS, maybe there's a few caveats there. But the point is that we might start finding better PC optimizations in games because this thing exists and there's millions of them out there. Like, I think this is quite a good thing to have in the market, whether you're interested or not. I don't know. It's exciting. And hey, the more people that have it, the more demand there is for Linux to run games better, the more Microsoft needs to get their shit together, like as well. You know what I mean? Because they're about to enter the same weird hybrid console PC space. So, anyway, I don't know if I have a huge coherent thought here, except to say that I think it's awesome that these things exist. I think it'll be great for people that aren't in the PC space yet. I think it's great for people that are already in the PC space and aren't actually that interested in these devices either. I think it's all around a great announcement. Like, at the end of the day, it'll come down to price. And if price is going to be rough and they announce Half-Life 3 in the next week after that, then all will be forgiven, I'm sure.
They will. They'll announce something to cushion that blow, I feel.
Nothing makes they're selling this a bit like a console, right? Nothing makes a good console launch like a launch title.
Yeah.
And we don't get them that often these days, so that would be a sure way to cement this thing. Although I'm sure it'll run on non-Steam machines, to be fair.
Do you think they do, for like launch, the orange box edition, and it comes with a copy of Half-Life 3? It's just orange.
The whole thing's orange.
Yeah.
Fuck, that'd be great. Maybe chuck Portal 3 there.
Yeah. This thing's cool.
It feels very Valve, this stuff. I don't know. Like, I mean that in a good way. Yeah, I don't know. It's very exciting, I think. I don't think there's been this level of excitement in PC gaming for a little bit. Like, occasionally they'll announce, like, oh, we're doing, PCI Gen 5, or we're doing a new version of DDR memory, or NVIDIA will come out with a new $4,000 graphics card. And yeah, it's great. You know what I mean? It pushes everything along a little bit. But I don't know. Like, it's just sort of been incremental upgrades in the PC space, and this device isn't cutting edge on a single specification, but it's just a coherent package. Yeah, and I think PC gaming's been missing that. I think Microsoft realizes that, but Valve's just beat them to it, and
again,
it'll be awesome to have this on the market running Steam OS, and Xbox coming out soon running Windows 11. Man, they got a bit of work to do there, but yeah. I'm very excited to see how this goes.
Yeah.
Nothing but positive thoughts, even though I'll probably going to buy none of it. Where are you at on the might purchase scale?
I'm up there. I like it a lot. I look at this and I'm like, I've always wanted, like, it's like, I've always wanted a PC plugged into my TV, you know what I mean? To sort of like, like, I have a Plex app and all that sort of stuff, but it'd be nice to just like have it there, and I can swap easily from like, oh, my kids have been watching Plex. Like, I'll launch Steam. Like, if they want to play the Bluey game, they can play the Bluey game. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it'd be a great way for them to like have something to play and then be easily able to switch to something to watch, and you know, just basically replacing all the silly little freaking apps on my TV and have a plethora of other things that I can do as well. Like, that would be really cool. So it's up there for me. We actually know an idiot who's thinking about getting one and then going back to their Mac. So we'll just have to wait and see like what they think about it. Because I feel like that fool might get one. Don't get me wrong, he's not an idiot for getting the Steam machine. He's an idiot for going back to Mac, but we'll let him try to justify that in the future. Love him to bits. But yeah, no, it's up there for me. I think it's cool. Actually, I can't wait to like. I don't think this is like a launch day thing for me. I can't wait to see what people think about it and what like people do with it once it's out there. You know what I mean? Because that's when you start seeing real cool shit and like what people, you know, decide to do. I want to see what like things people make for the front of it as well. It's like that. I think like we see like someone like is like going to be making a screen and all that. That'll be cool to see. I just think this is a sick piece of tech that will look really good in like a living room setting. Like, it doesn't look like a outlandish, gorish, like, you know, RGB ridden popped collar PS5 looking thing. It's just a cube. I think I like that aspect of it as well.
Shout out to the PS5 that continues to be the worst looking thing in the room.
I look at it and like, what the fuck were they thinking? And I love that like one of the biggest rumors coming out of like when everyone was like, oh yeah, there's like PS6 rumors dropping, and it's like the biggest one and the one that everyone's talking about was like, it will look like a box. And I'm like, oh yeah, like it doesn't have a pop collar. Awesome. It's not gonna look like Kaiba from fucking Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's go. That's a dub.
But it's funny though, because this Cube and the Series X, for example,
the fridge and the microwave,
they're not subtle. Like
yeah.
the Series X is huge, you know what I mean? Like, it's not subtle at all, but it just looks like it belongs there.
It looks acceptable in a home, you know what I mean? Whereas like the PlayStation 5 looks like an Andy Warhol's original.
I struggle to even just get a PS5 level. Like, I don't. The fucking anyway, this isn't a PS5 show, but this cube will look fine wherever you put it.
Yeah.
Desk, shell, entertainment unit.
It's mate,
like just anywhere.
It's
honestly,
joining.
Like, you could just sit on top of like an Xbox.
It's joining the long list of consoles that look like kitchen appliances. You know, we had the mini fridge with the X, we had the burner/toaster for the S, now we have the microwave for the Steam machine. The only one out there looking like a freaking psychopath is the PlayStation. And the Switch, my God, you look at that thing and people know. People are like, oh, that fucking beautiful thing over there that plays Mario. I love that thing. You know what I mean? Like, everyone loves that. No, that thing could look like a PS5 and people would be like, hell yeah, Mario runs on that.
Yeah, yeah. Look, that's fair. Look, even if you argue that the Nintendo Switch dock doesn't look great, it's done to a price. I would rather the money spent on the CPU or the battery or anything else.
It looks like a little toaster.
Honestly, I wish the dock was just a cable that you just plugged in and it had a couple, like a, you know, those dongle cables you got to get for a MacBook that has like a USB ports on it, an HDMI. Honestly, I wish it was just one of them. I don't even think it needs a dock in my opinion, but hey, you know, I'm not Nintendo, so cool. But
looks like a toaster.
But anyway, the Steam machine will have a place on the shelf and it will look fine for years to come, I would say.
It'll look beautiful. Mate, let's talk the reason this podcast was delayed, mate. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 has finally dropped, and we jumped into it Friday and yesterday and a little bit today. How you feeling?
What came out before 2019 Modern Warfare? What was that code? Can't remember which one that was.
That's a great question. I don't think it was. Was it? It was it Infinite Warfare?
Or was it? No. Oh no, I'm thinking of Vanguard. That came out after Cold War.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
I'm
trying to make a point that like that's the level of enthusiasm I have for this game.
Yep.
Like, I reluctantly brought it because I'm like, hey, we talk enough COD on this podcast over the years. We better we better jump on it. And the beta ended up being really good.
Beta was
I think
great.
we had a great time with the beta. It turns out we enjoyed the beta because we didn't have Battlefield 6 to play. And now that Battlefield 6 is here and we've played Black Ops 7, it only took us about an hour and a half to get back to Battlefield 6. There's something about this that is just... The game runs fine, by the way. The maps are fine. The guns are fine. The game's fine. There's nothing wrong with the game. It's just the fact that it exists for the 18th year in a row.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, this is a good COD. Better than the last few, I would say.
Gunfights there at launch. The maps for gunfight are decent enough.
The maps for multiplayer are genuinely pretty good. Like,
yeah, there's only a couple where I'm like, this aesthetically doesn't look great. There's that one map that's on an angle. I think that map.
Oh, the ship one
might be the worst of all time.
I think
that map is terrible.
So I'm pretty sure it's meant to be the USS Obama, which is like a decommissioned ship from the second game. And for some reason, like, I don't know why it's on an angle. Like, it just doesn't make any sense at all.
The whole map is like a 10-degree angle. Like, you
so
just feel
weird.
like you're crooked the whole time.
Yeah, and I like that.
That map should be burnt off the disc. But hey, apart from that, the game is fine. Yeah, hot tip: turn ray tracing off as well.
You're welcome.
Turned that off, and I went from all max settings. I went from 40 to 100 and something frame. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Maybe I just don't have the card for it. But turn that the fuck off. Once you do that, game runs great. Game is good. Battlefield's just better. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's not really apples to apples comparison. Like, one's an arena shooter and one's, I don't know what Battlefield is. I don't even know what you'd call it. It's a fucking sandbox, whatever it is.
COD right now is where
people just having a fun time over there.
Yeah,
you know?
See, COD right now is where Battlefield 2042 was right before 6 came out. Like, it had tried to do a massive pivot and had done some very, very commendable things, added some maps that are actually pretty good, and added some stuff that should have been there from launch that actually felt great. That's what Black Ops 7 is. Black Ops 7 is Call of Duty trying to course correct in a year where they know they've lost. And what they've done, I think, is done enough to maintain a steady amount of players leading into whatever comes next. I'm just hoping that the Call of Duty that is currently and has been in development has enough time to make these pivots in order to fix what Black Ops 7 has tried to fix. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. We won't know for a year. But Black Ops 7 is in the unfortunate position of trying to hold on to players that are finally just done with the same old when there are other things out there that they can play. You know, like Battlefield is out there. You know, if you want a multiplayer shooter, Battlefield is there. If you want a battle royale, you know what I mean? You've got big players like PUBG and Fortnite. If you want an extraction mode, which is kind of in Black Ops 7, we'll get to it, you've got Tarkov just released at 1.0. You know what I mean? Like, there are other games out there that primarily do that one thing better than Call of Duty doing all these things. Like, there are games out there better than the sum of its parts, which is unfortunate for COD, but also the writing has been on the wall for fucking years, and it took them being pinned against it for them to do anything, which is like, at the end of the day, too bad, so sad you did it to yourself. This is a self-inflicted wound. Like, you waited until the last possible minute. You waited for somebody to do a better job before you did anything. And I think you're going to feel this for a year, unless they turn around and drop a John Wick skin and then suddenly, you know, they've got people back. But I think it'll be for like a season. You know what I mean? Like, that'll be it. You know, they're going to drop stuff that's going to bring people back for a little bit. Whereas I feel like Battlefield's doing stuff that is going to keep people happy for a while. They're listening to the community. They're actually taking feedback on board. You know what I mean? You've got like Delta Force out there doing great things for the community. You've got Fortnite's always kicking goals for people. You know, friggin' Tarkov's just hit 1.0 and they've just made the game easier for the first time in fucking years to welcome new players in. We haven't even talked about Arc Raiders being a thing, just completely shitting on every multiplayer game out there at the moment. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a multiplayer gamer right now, you're playing one of two things. You're playing Battlefield or you're playing Arc Raiders. Like, I don't even think Call of Duty is, like, in the back of your mind. But, yeah.
I don't know what the fuck you expect me to say after you nailed it so well.
It's just, yeah.
Like, you nailed it, mate. Like, it's just like it's almost frustrating that this COD is ticking so many boxes. Like, we got gunfight at launch. People were begging for skill-based matchmaking to go. It's gone. Like, we got persistent lobbies. Zombies seems like it has something for everybody for once.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things being ticked here. And if this came out last year, I think we would have lost our mind. I think we would have been like on COD for a year.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
would have
I
been
don't
real
think we
good.
would have.
Would have been real good. Yeah.
Look, like I enjoyed Black Ops 6. Don't get me wrong. Like there was some things in that game that the game needed. Like, it wasn't like it was a bad game, but it felt like Treyarch was held down by other forces. And Black Ops 7 feels like Treyarch, campaign aside, has been able to do, well, maybe campaign included, but they've been able to do what they wanted. They've been able to do all these things that they've supposedly wanted to do for years. And there's a whole bunch of shit in here that the community's been begging for. And it's just sort of like, I think we're a bit tapped out. And I think there's a lot of people, like, we've been talking about it for a long time, but I think there's also people that didn't realize it. And now that Battlefield 6 has offered an alternative, and other games like Arc Raiders, I think I'm not seeing a lot of people left with the enthusiasm to go another year. And, you know, we know that next year's COD is getting the big engine upgrade, and there's a few, you know, it's going to be a big one. And I think it has the potential to bring everyone straight back. Like, I don't think COD's dead. You see some people on Twitter saying that sort of stuff, and it's like, COD's been down before, and it's bounced straight back. You know what I mean? Like, I think they'll be fine. But this year's one, it's a fucking good COD. But, you know, I still just want to play Battlefield.
Yeah.
And, you know, to be fair, like, we've been waiting a long time for a good Battlefield. Like, it's not like Battlefield's been knocking it out of the park release after release. Like, this Battlefield 6 is surprisingly good. And you know, if Battlefield 6 was this good, but we just had Battlefield 3 and 4, you know, it might be different circumstances.
Yeah, it's a good COD. It's just too late.
Yeah, and I was reading someone's excellent point on Twitter. You know, they were talking about numbers being down this year, which I think it's a hard conversation because, like, people with Game Pass aren't going to go buy it on Steam. But anyway, they were talking about the numbers, and they were like, the shitty thing is what if Activision looks at the numbers being down and goes, oh, wait, skill-based matchmaking and persistent lobbies and all the things that people got that they wanted, what if they reverse all those decisions based on the sales data and next year's COD's just, like, back on track, you know?
That's just proof they don't listen to the community then. That would be the proof that they don't listen to anything we say or take into account anything we want, is that they're not building a game for the consumer. They're building a game for the freaking investor, which is the issue. You know what I mean? They're trying to make it super easy for everybody to get in to sell as many copies as they can and all this other stuff. It's like, they need to listen to the people that are actually going to buy the game, and don't listen to us after we've basically said, well, we're done. You know, it's like, it's over. We got better games now.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. I think I've also, like, I've been listening to, like, the streamer community for so long, and they finally make some good decisions, and the streamers are, like, even burning out.
Yep.
Like, I've seen some of the streamers just, like, so not interested in it, who normally play every one, and it's so interesting. I feel like they've let us down a little bit, to be honest. But anyway, that's probably a topic for another time. But it's just a weird position to be in. Like, you know, if you said to me after the podcast, "Oh, I'll do a couple of gunfights," like, I'd be in. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy the game, but it's just not. It's not. It's like the itch no longer needs to be scratched.
Yeah.
And they need to earn a place back on the calendar, and I think they will next year. I don't think it'll be down for long, but I don't know, man. It's just interesting because it is a good game, but the campaign seems to be quite getting attention online.
Yeah.
either played it or finished it?
Yeah, I played it all today. Last night, I played it all. It's
What's the go there, mate? Because when I
it's
talk about a COD being good or not good, I don't even think about the campaign. So,
yeah.
Like,
Hey, I would
I think it's
say,
just a bonus.
yeah, like, let's break it up, right? Like, I would give Zombies a 9 out of 10. From what I played as Zombies, I really enjoy it. I like the survival stuff. It's actually fun. I like the round-based stuff. It's good. But I'm sure a Zombies mega fan would give it like a fucking 7 or something. You know, I'm happy with a 9. Multiplayer,
Yeah.
that's an 8. You know what I mean? That's an 8. Like, it's really, really good. Campaign, I'm like, here's where I'm at with the campaign. I'm struggling to decide whether this is on par or worse than Modern Warfare 3's campaign. And
Right.
it's let's talk about the problems, right? So you cannot pause the game. It is a constantly online campaign. Like, it's constantly online. You're constantly loaded in to a giant Warzone map called Avalon. Like, constantly. It's set up. It reminds me of the raids from Modern Warfare 2. That's effectively what this campaign is. And it's... They do not adjust the difficulty. So there's no difficulty, by the way. There's no recruit, there's no veteran, there's no hardened, none of that. It's you load in and you play how you play. And they do not adjust the amount of enemies or difficulty depending how many people are in your team. So if you're not playing with 4 people, you're playing on veteran. Like, that's basically how it is. And every like, to put it in perspective, right? So you'll start, you'll go through, you'll hit a cutscene, then you'll get another cutscene after doing like fetch quest A, and then eventually most missions will lead to a boss fight, like a boss with an actual health bar. Like it's like a Destiny type mission. They're like Destiny missions. Like, you load into a specific point on a big open map, you complete objective A, B, and C, then you fight the boss at the end, and then you're loaded up to a new spot on the same map, and you just keep doing that over and over again until you finish.
The whole campaign is just set in Avalon.
Yes. No. There is 2 missions set. One in Tokyo and one somewhere else with a completely different team. But I think that's to break up the monotony of Avalon, because everything is set in Avalon.
Right.
And then what happens is you get to the end, and Emma Kagan or whatever her name is, barely a villain. Like, this campaign is a fever dream. So okay. Minor spoilers. Here's what we'll do, all right? So, basically, you and your team go to Avalon, right? A video drops. Raul Menendez is back. After being presumed dead in 2025, he's returned 10 years later to stir it all up again and restart his revolution. Maybe a mission or 2 later, it turns out, hey, Mason, you were right. He is dead. It's a deep fake. It's not really Raul Menendez. You've been set up by the Guild. And if you know anything, I'm sure you're all versed on Call of Duty Black Ops lore, guys, and you'll know that the Guild was that random organization that one of the members of your team from Black Ops 6 was in, right? Me too. And then, yeah, a whole bunch of returning characters from 6. But, like, they're just here because it's a Black Ops game, not because they like add anything to the story. And it's like, so sorry. The mission goes like this: you're on Avalon, you break into there. Keegan's like, haha, I'm gonna run an experiment on you. Basically, the mind-altering drug from Black Ops 6 is being mass-produced 40 years later by the Guild, who had nothing to do with it in the original. Like, kind of like at all. They were just sort of like hired guns. But now the Guild in the future is mass producing this fear-inducing toxin so they can use it in warfare. And what ends up happening is your team gets infected. And because you're all mentally linked through a neural chip, that is why when Mason has an hallucination, your 3 co-op buddies are able to partake in this hallucination with you because you're all linked through this chip. Which, if you've played Black Ops 3, makes a lot of sense, because that's actually a really good way to tie it to Black Ops 3. They do a lot of good stuff to actually tie it to Black Ops 3 here, but I'm not the biggest fan of Black Ops 3's campaign, but they do tie it in. So then what ends up happening is Mason and the team set C4 after stealing a hard drive from a quantum computer, which apparently has information on what the guild is up to. You then blow up the quantum computer and the entire lab, releasing the gas on the island of Avalon. Okay? Suddenly, wherever you go on the island, you're going to start having hallucinations. And then what happens is you'll be fighting on this random place in Avalon. You start having a hallucination, and suddenly you're in Angola. You're in Vorkuta. You're in Vietnam. Like, you're suddenly fighting through some of the best moments from Call of Duty history. And then you get to the end, and, like, first boss fight, Raul Menendez, like, at his home. And you get a special kill streak where you drop a giant machete from the sky. And it just makes no fucking sense that it's a fever dream. And then later on, you'll verse a massive, giant version of Harper. And it's just like, makes no fucking sense. And it's the whole thing is explained away by, you guys are infected by this drug. And then you get to the end, and you beat the bad guy, bad girl, bad whatever. And you guys get on the boat, and you guys all hug and make out and tongue each other. And you're all like, yeah, hoorah. And then Mason's like, man, we need to clean up Avalon. It's like, yeah, we need to clean up Avalon. And then it unlocks a mode in the campaign called Endgame. And Endgame is a new sort of... They count it as a campaign mission, but I'm going to call it a co-op mode, which is basically this game's DMZ, but it is not about extracting loot and then going back in and extracting loot. It's about going in, completing missions, upping your combat level so that you can get a high enough combat level to enter the red zone in the center of the map in order to first the final boss of the game, who is this random guy that they introduce 3 seconds in a cutscene in the post-credits as the new CEO of the guild, who we don't know his name. We don't know who he is. He's not mentioned once in the campaign. He's not built up at all. He's just another health bar that we're going to have to drain after hours and hours and hours of grinding on a map that was clearly supposed to be the new BR map this year, but isn't.
There you go.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes the developers might be like a little bit bored, you know?
I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Like, it's sad that my favorite parts of the campaign are literally the parts that are like the what the fuck moments. Like the fighting the Raul Menendez with a giant machete. I'm like, this is cool. Like, I like this a lot. I hate that I'm about to go back to the big BR map after this and not be able to pause the game ever. Like, I had to pause the game to go help my son, and I came back and I got kicked back to the lobby. Like, I'm in the middle of a campaign mission. And it's not like it saves midway through. You've got to start from the start every single time. There is no checkpoint system.
Oh, I hate that so much.
It's a persistent online experience that it's just not like any campaign we've ever had. And by fucking God, I hope it's not like any campaign we have after this. Because it is horrible. It is horrible. Horrible. I hated it. Like... The story was so interesting. You know what I mean? Like, like David Mason is a fucked up character. You know what I mean? Like, his father had like PTSD and was like literally a Russian sleeper agent. Like, what is it like living with just him after your mother dies? You know what I mean? And then like the actions of your father and your like Uncle Woods lead to you getting abducted by a fucking drug lord from Brazil or Bolivia or wherever the fuck he's from, and then like you literally put that to the back of your mind and then don't remember it until years later when you're like fucking 30 years old. Like what a fucked up character with a lot of fucking baggage, and that this game does a really good job of addressing that baggage. But it's also like, I just want to pause so I can go get a drink. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be on this giant map. I'd rather we be on a fucking globe-trotting adventure like COD games are meant to be, and like actually let me pick a difficulty rather than, oh, you don't have 3 friends to play with? Good luck. They're lucky all I've done the last few years is play COD, because if I was somebody jumping in for the first time, like this campaign has the plate system, like you have to plate, you have to do all this stuff. Like, it's like this is clearly Warzone. and you've just tried to throw a story in there and you know, like you fight a giant fucking plant. Like a giant plant, like a Borderlands level boss, and it has a health bar. They're just like the raids from freaking Modern Warfare 2 they turned into a campaign, which is so sad because like last year, the highlight of Black Ops 6 was that campaign for me. Like the different ideas they had, the different things they executed, having that large map for a mission, not the fucking campaign. If there's one thing I appreciate most about Black Ops 6 is that when I played campaign, I could fucking pause the game. Freaking annoying. Then I had to find all the intel, and then I got all the intel in the campaign missions, but it turns out, because I was like, my trophy didn't pop for the intel. So I went to check online, and it's like, hey, just so you know, there are 11 pieces of intel on this giant map that you will also need to find, because this counts as campaign. This counts as the last mission of the game. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll get it done eventually, but I'm not excited about it. And it's not like I can uninstall the campaign because this mission counts as part of the campaign. So this co-op stuff is just basically the 16 gigabyte campaign install. So until I complete everything I need to do to get me trophies, I just can't uninstall it.
You won't get a platinum anyway.
Yeah, because no platinum. It's just added to the Call of Duty list, which I hope next year is just fucking eradicated. Like, I hate this launcher. I just would rather go back to having each individual one so that when the next COD comes out, I can just delete that completely off my fucking console and not have to worry about it. Like, this is dumb.
I bet if you were to install every Call of Duty that the Call of Duty HQ supports on a PS5, I don't reckon it would fit.
It would not.
Like, it just makes the whole thing redundant.
They need to start selling COD on a hard drive every year with enough space for all the bullshit they want to add. Discs aren't enough anymore.
Not wrong.
It's ridiculous.
I don't really have anything to add, but that's just that's a lot.
I'm sad because the story the story itself isn't horrible. You know what I mean? Like, the idea of what they're trying to tell is quite good. The execution is rushed and piss poor. Like, just absolutely piss poor. And if this becomes a Warzone map in like 6 months' time, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? Just make it a traditional campaign. And if you guys don't have time, don't put it in at all. You know, just add all this shit to Black Ops 6 and just call it an update, because that's what it feels like. Ain't nothing here special. Like, ain't nothing here that justifies the 7, is basically what I'm getting at. That's the thing zombies players are saying right now, like, oh man, this really just feels like an update to 6. Like, I get that. But, like, I think if anything got supported for Black Ops 6 pretty fucking well, it was zombies. So, the zombies players shouldn't be like, I can't believe I have to buy this. It's like, mate, you just got a fucking year's worth of pretty decent updates. Like, I wouldn't complain too hard. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what they were smoking, but they definitely... They didn't smoke... They shouldn't have smoked it because we got this, and they didn't smoke enough of it because we got this. They were right in the middle. They got a buzz on. They weren't high enough to make something balls to the wall crazy that was great, and they were just like... They weren't sober enough to make something comprehensive. It's sad.
You covered it pretty comprehensive. Oh, I can't even speak. You've done well. You've done well. Thank you for sharing, mate.
Look forward to the review.
I think that... I think that adds to our feeling of, like, being whelmed, you know?
Yeah.
Like we said, it is a good game. It's just come at the wrong time. We needed a lot of this last year.
Just take a year off, COD. Please. Just take a year off. I don't need you next year. Just take time off. Actually, drop next year, then take a year off. Because, whew, if anybody needs a rest, it's Call of Duty.
Or delay next year's a year. Like, delay the new engine one a year. Give it more time to cook. Let GTA and God knows what else is coming out next year.
Yeah.
Hold the fort down.
Honestly, yeah. I feel like COD, like, I think every multiplayer game's numbers is going to be in trouble when GTA Online drops, so Maybe just, cool it for a little bit. Maybe just cool it. Take some time. Give everybody a fucking vacation, you bastards. Like, Jesus. Whoever wrote this campaign clearly has not had a day off in a long time. And they need one. Desperately. Desperately. Well, mate, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Any bloody time. Come back, we'll do it again next week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard or watched, please feel free to drop us a follow, drop us a sub, and drop a like or a star or a heart or wherever. Helps us out. It really does. We appreciate it. If you want more, head over to oneofgames.com. We've got articles going up every single day about, latest news. We've got reviews, previews, all that fun stuff. Not Metroid, though, because I wasn't invited, but whatever, Nintendo. I still love you, I guess. But yeah, that's going to do it from us, guys. Thank you so much. We all do appreciate it. I'm just so down on COD right now. What the hell? Stupid COD. We're not gonna draw on it. Alright, we love you all. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, may all your games be good ones, and we will catch you guys next week. I bet that game won't be COD though. Alright, bye everyone.
Bye.